Jaguars brought in 34-year-old James Gladstone this offseason as their general manager. RJ, I wanted to get your take on his impact on the Jaguars so far, the things that he's doing to impact the Jaguars, how he might change, how he might improve the Jaguars from your perspective so far. What are your thoughts?
Communication's been big with James Gladstone, also Liam Coen, as well as Tony Baselli. It seems as if they're always communicating about certain things, and they're always talking about just the fact of if we do disagree on something, it doesn't have to be, a thing where we're just blowing the whole thing up. We'll try to find answers. We'll try to find a way in which we can do things better. And I think that adaptability in which James Gladstone has shown and James Gladstone has so far has really been good. It's really been a breath of fresh air here when it comes to James. He's also trying to get guys in here that, love the game of football, that really take it serious. And if you don't, in his opinion, then you don't belong here. If you look at the roster, the turnover that has been placed upon this roster, my goodness. He's really believing in the youth movement, but also bringing in the requisite pieces in terms of veteran leadership that really can help this football team. He really wants to see what these young guys have as well. I don't believe that he's an individual that's saying, listen, we're going to be here trying to win a Super Bowl year one. So we just need to bring in every last, individual that we have in terms of a veteran and just throw money at them. And him coming from the Los Angeles Rams, we understand the F the picks mantra. I don't think he's really trying to do that right now. Now, he did shoot for the moon when it came to Travis Hunter, and I think understandably so. This is a guy that says, listen, we feel that Travis Hunter can be the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL. He can change the NFL in the way in which we look at it. Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that James Gladstone, really a young mind, a young guy that's really bringing in new and fresh ideas, also having that communication with not only just the whole front office, but with guys such as Liam Coen. What do they need? How can we help you? How can we be of service to you? So that, I think it's something we probably haven't had in quite a long time. So to see that, James Gladstone, Liam Coen, and Tony Baselli are all on one accord, it's certainly something that, I think Jacksonville Jaguar fans need to be pleased with.
Hey, yeah, Jaguar fans, that's great news. James Gladstone got a lot of heat. I think Jaguars did when he brought him in. Now, though, I think, Jaguars fans definitely have warmed up to him a little bit. I was certainly shocked at the hiring. Then I see what he's doing. He goes and gets Travis. I like that move. I think it takes a lot of balls, but it also is like, hey, I think Travis is worth it, a unicorn, great player. Gladstone's, high school, highlight tape, so to speak. He was an All-American, I believe, wide receiver in college too. Was a team captain as well. But Gladstone is really focusing on bringing, analytics, kind of that younger mind. I think, like you mentioned, that the Jaguars really, could use in that front office. He discussed this in his opening press conference when he was asked about this. I wanted to go ahead and play this excerpt. Take a listen.
His NFL or from a GM spot?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I think that. I have a fresh perspective, I'd say. A deep understanding of really the modern tools and mechanisms that are revolutionizing the sport. And so, that'll certainly be something that we leverage here. While at the same time, we're walking into the combine this afternoon, right? And so the current mode of operation is in rhythm. The cadence is in place. So my intent here through this initial spring is to really calibrate my own mode of operation to the current mode of operation, insert some specific efficiencies that'll help me better understand our group's insights and perspectives, and then assess at the end of this spring what types of things we can roll out into the future.
I think he's done that. Safe to say, we're upon summer. I wanted to ask you, Gladstone, Liam Coen are all disciples of Sean McVay Rams system. How do you think that impacts them as they attempt to, revitalize the Jaguars?
I think it's been Rams East here, to be honest with you. I think I don't know if they're trying to implement that fully. However, I just do feel the young, innovative minds, and you heard in that excerpt that James Gladstone is talking about that. When you've looked at the last two regimes, and I'll say 1.5, because Urban Meyer, I think he was trying to study the league and how it was, but I think just it didn't work out for him in the way in which he thought it was going to be able to work out, still having that old school mentality. It's quite different now in today's NFL. But when you look at a guy such as Doug Peterson when he was here. I think Doug Peterson was an individual that said, listen, my way worked. My way won us a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that worked completely for him. I mean, he did have his moments, especially there in 2022. But I mean, not being able to adapt, not being willing to change, not being willing to be that guy to listen to his players and see, what they need. Not saying he wasn't listening to the players in terms of just, listen, it's my way or the highway, but maybe going a different route about some things. I don't think that he really just adapted to that. I know play calling was one thing in which we really questioned, was it him calling the plays or was it Press Taylor calling the plays, and why wouldn't he decide, to call the plays? Because there were many individuals that felt that when he called the plays, it was a much more smooth offense than when Press Taylor, called the plays. That was a lot of complaints in which, Jacksonville Jaguar fans had here. So to have the fresh and young and new ideas that you see within James Gladstone at, the GM position, you're also seeing Liam Coen, an individual that's giving you fresh perspectives, and also again, like I said, giving you that adaptability where he's saying, listen, if something doesn't work out here, we're going to make the necessary changes to where if we need to make subtle tweaks to the offense, if we need to make subtle tweaks here of how we position some players, or maybe even if we have to, replace one player that's already on our team with another guy that we feel can fit that position better, we're going to do everything we can here to be successful. That's just a breath of fresh air in and of itself already, because I'm not saying that the old guard doesn't work, but I mean, to hear we're really going to try to do things the way the modern NFL is going. And not saying that, the old offenses can't work, but as I said, this is a whole new, regime and a whole new outlook in which we're seeing with the NFL. And it is that young mind, that young, fresh ideas that we're seeing with guys in Los Angeles, such as Sean McVay. So to see it being brought over here, I think Jacksonville Jaguar fans, in my opinion, have always said, we want what we see other teams having. And I think that bringing in those three guys, especially Tony Baselli, who loves the Jacksonville Jaguars, was a Jaguar himself and an NFL Hall of Famer, saying like, how can we bring that here? And we're going to bring that here, should definitely make Jacksonville Jaguar fans excited.
Ooh, hey, man. Yeah, Jaguar fans got a lot to be optimistic about. Definitely RJ giving us the insight, giving us the real on the Jacksonville Jaguars.